Fury against Makhmudov this weekend. Also on the undercard, we're going to be seeing Conor Benn up against Regis Prograis in the welterweight division. Now, Spencer was down at a press launch yesterday and all of a sudden ended up in conversation with Conor Benn. I'll get to the reasons around that in a second, Spencer. But alongside Gareth A. Davis, the two of you spoke with Conor Benn. And you put it to Conor, how easy was it for him to remain focused on Regis Prograis when beyond that, everyone's linking him with other big fights?
It's really hard for me to look past someone like Regis, two-time former world champion. Got to give him his roses and the respect he deserves. Ultimately, most fighters would have waited for the Garcia fight, which would have been, August, September. Due to me being made mandatory in #1 position, I could have just waited. I chose to have a run out, but I chose to...
So you called it a run out?
No. I chose to have a run out, and they presented Regis to me. I said, yeah, sweet, no problem.
You've got to be on your game against him, there's no question about it.
Of course.
How difficult is that, though, the focus, because it's so easy to jump ahead. Them big fights are on the horizon, stateside with Ryan Garcia, etc. Everyone calling out your name. You've made a big name for yourself over there as well. So focusing on this one, which is a potential banana skin against a great fighter like Regis, how difficult is it to stay focused on that as opposed to jumping too far ahead?
Joe, it's a hard one because you do it. It is easily done.
Absolutely.
It is easily done. So I am very aware of it, where you go, cool, yeah, Ryan Garcia's around the corner, I'm mandatory, I'm #1. I could just wait, but this opportunity was presented. I could do with getting out again at 150 before dropping down completely to 147. So it's strategic from my end because ultimately I've been walking around at 170 for the past 3 years. Not having to make weight really. Eating steak for just throughout the camps. And that presented a different struggle in itself. But for me, I've got to win this fight. He can ruin everything. So it's not like I don't take him lightly at all. He thinks he's going to come in there and impose himself on me. Boy, is he wrong. This for me is my world title because if I don't get past Regis, I don't get my shot.
So Conor goes in against Regis Prograis. Because of what's going on in the past, Spencer, are we still none the wiser as to who or what Conor is and where he might end up in the sport?
Well, look, he said he wants to campaign at 147. He went up to 160 to box Chris Eubank Jr. We know what that was for, the financial reasons, the family feud, all of that. They're two great fights up at 160. Coming back down, this is at 150. Regis Prograis, who's never boxed above 142 before. We remember him boxing Josh Taylor.
Sure.
And that was way back when, 2019, I think. And Jack Catterall. He's a great fighter, been around a long time. He's had 33 fights, 130 of those, 24 of those inside the distance, but has campaigned a much lighter weight. So Conor Benn should win this one. It's a name on his resume. But Regis Prograis is not to be taken lightly. And also, we don't know what sort of effects that's going to have had on Conor Benn. He's boxed at 160. He's now coming down to 150. He says that he can get to 147, which I don't believe is achievable. I don't think he'll have the strength down there. I think his career will probably fall in the 154, the super welterweight division. That's probably where he'll land. But as me and Simon were just talking about when we were watching the interview there, he looks very lean, very drawn, so it must be a bit of a struggle for him. And how's that affected him? Will the strength still be there? Will the punch power still be there? It's an interesting fight because Prograis is a decent fighter.
Yeah. What's your take on it?
I mean, in theory, not in factual times, Regis Prograis' best days are behind him and Conor Benn's best days should be ahead of him. And they've picked this fight, like we said earlier on, and it's a Dave Allenism. He's the best. He's the best matched fighter financially that's probably ever been. This is an interesting dynamic, but I would expect Conor, irrespective of how slight he looks there, and it might be because we've just seen him bulked up over the last 6 to 8 months or even 12 months, that he looks very slight there, pint-sized Dennis Rodman. But I expect him to go. I expect him to go in there and to beat Regis Prograis where it takes him. If it takes him into the 154 category because he can't get to 147, he's in a world of trouble there because I don't see him beating Josh Kelly. I don't see him getting a glove on Boots Ennis.
But then you got if you're going down the 147 route, you've got the likes of Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like
you've got
these
Lewis
guys.
Crocker.
Lewis Crocker. Yeah, but does he beat Lewis Crocker?
No, I'm not saying he does, but of the two fighters, you'd probably take Lewis Crocker over Ryan Garcia, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Good to chat to Conor Benn all the same, though.
It's the first time I've had a conversation with him in...
Your new mate.
No, I asked him...
Is he your new bestie?
He's not my new bestie. No,
Gareth is. Wherever you go, Gareth A. Davis is there.
Can't you shake
You're
him
the
off?
kind of hinge and bracket of boxing.
He's my work partner, Gareth A. Davis, and he's doing a good job, by the way.
Your work partner?
He's doing a very good job, and he's always very complimentary about Simon Jordan.
Is he?
That's a whole different conversation. But look, it's the first time I spoke to Conor since... before all the troubles.
All right, Spencer, don't
before
overdo
all
it.
the allegations.
If I'm getting slagged off my jacket, Gareth A. Davis. I mean, come on.
Please.
Come on.
Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen gone wrong, yeah.
Oh, dear me.
He'll be listening to this, by the way.
Sorry, Spencer, finish
I've got to
off
work with
with
him
what you're
today.
saying about Conor.
Yeah,
I
so
interrupted you.
it's the first time. So how this came about was I didn't think I was doing that interview. I thought it was going to be with Gareth A. Davis because Conor's always refused to do an interview with me since, the drugs allegations that I was very vocal about, and I stand by still.
Yeah.
And we will have that conversation at a later date,
Sure.
But Nicole, who works for Conor, she come up to me and said, "Look, listen, would you be in the interview? But obviously we don't want to talk about certain situations." I went, "I understand that. Fight week. He's got his fight head on. Let's just do it." So yeah, that's how we come to doing the interview.
I asked you the question, I got an answer. Certainly, it's 30 seconds of my life I'll never get back.
Well,
But
listen,
thank you so much, Spencer.
I think the answer was better than Ben Davison's one about who hits harder. That is for sure.
We want to thank you, Spencer, as always. Thank you so much. Mr. Jordan, you'll be pleased to know it's raining where you're going in Spain, and I hope it continues to do so.
Very good morning to boxing manager Sam Jones. Sam, hiya, Sam.
Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, guys. Are you all right?
Very well, Sam. Sam, first of all, Makhmudov. Could this be troublesome for Tyson?
No.
In what way then? Tyson just will not be overawed by this guy's physique because Tyson towers over him.
Listen, I think even if Tyson Fury is half the man he was, he should still be Makhmudov. I don't want to play him down too much, but Makhmudov is very big, very upright, and very stiff.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of the guy from Men in Black, if the original film, the guy that just walks down the street like this. He kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, Tyson should have absolutely no problem in disposing of him, even if he is at 50%.
Too sharp for him, too quick for him, Sam.
Just hands are too just knows too much and will just hit him too clean. But yes. I just think even if Tyson Fury is not at his brilliant best, I still think he will have enough to dispose of Arslan Makhmudov, no matter how many bears he wrestles.
Sam, I was just going to say, what sort of fitness level is Tyson at?
He looks well.
Look, he's well experienced. So he's not going to go in the ring. He's not going to go in the ring half cooked, is he? But is he back to his sparkling best? You think?
I don't know if you can possibly be at your best because, listen, I'm not a high-performing athlete, but Gabby was a professional footballer. He will tell you that when you get older, you do slow down. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are. We as human beings, we slow down. So I'm sure Tyson will still have his IQ. He'll still have his fast hands, but I think sometimes, especially in boxing, the mind is willing, but the body won't follow. So we will know a lot about Tyson Fury on Saturday. But I think Makhmudov's a good opponent for Tyson because I don't think, let's say Makhmudov, he isn't the fastest, is he? So I don't think he will cause Tyson that much of problems. I mean, look, the bookies, they don't always get it right, but as you can see by the odds, they don't have it as a very competitive fight.
Yeah.
Sam, I have to talk about your fighter now. You're the manager of Daniel Dubois. He's fighting one of Alan Brazil's favourites, Fabio Wardley, because the Ipswich connection. I mean, I've already made plans with the lads to watch this fight somewhere, Sam, on May the 9th. This is a fight I'm really looking forward to. And it's hard to call, isn't it? I know you're obviously Daniel Dubois' manager, but you have to respect what Fabio Wardley's done in recent fights.
Yeah, listen, I advise Daniel now. I was in the opposite corner to Daniel a few years back when I was with Joe Joyce. It's amazing how boxing can go kind of in roundabouts and it can change. But yeah, I'm proud to be advising Daniel now. Look, Fabio Wardley's a friend of mine. So when we was actually doing that press conference, we was kind of like looking at each other, half laughing because listen, I've got a lot of respect for Fabio. He's done his story is something unbelievable that he's managed to do this without an amateur background. He's done it by fighting part-time accountants in the white-collar world. So the fact he's able to now be a world heavyweight champion is something that he must be commended on. And I made the point of that at the press conference that he needs his props. I know he never got his big and the new moment, but he deserves his tag of world heavyweight champion. And he wanted to fight Usyk, but he's unfortunately been rewarded with Daniel Dubois.
Wow, still a cracking fight. Don't worry about that.
Can I ask you quickly one more?
Yeah, go on.
Can I ask you quickly about, I saw yesterday on social media, Martin Bacoli having a go at Ben Shalom, and then Boxer put a statement out, haven't they? It seems a bit messy.
Listen, it happens a lot in boxing, and it's very sad, to be honest with you. But look, if Martin Bacoli is not promoted by Ben Shalom, then he's free to do whatever he wants, and he needs to get a good sports lawyer. But look, it's never good when things like this happen. But if you have signed a contract and you have to abide by the contract. But let's see what happens. But listen, it'd be good to see Martin Bacoli back at his best, because he's not won a fight for 2 years, has he? I mean, he's not done himself any justice in coming in incredibly overweight in his last couple of fights. So let's see him back at his best, and hopefully his fight with, I think, Guido Vianello, who I used to manage, by the way, gets rescheduled, because I think that was a really good fight. It would have been a good addition in the Egypt card, in the pyramids.
Yes.
Sam, listen, good luck to you.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
Sam.
joining
Top man.
us. Should be a cracking fight. Sam Jones there.